and I'm with the plant medicine path, medicine with the metals. And today, we have a really special friend. I've been on this path for a little while now, going on about 3 years. And when I jumped on this path, I started in a place in Orlando. There's a church down there, and I ran into this wonderful woman. People used to call her, or people do still call her to this day, Mama Dawn. And her presence was just there. And you know, I'm going to let her introduce herself, and we're going to talk a lot this morning. Good morning, my friend.
Good morning, my love.
How are you?
Thank you so much for, you know, inviting me.
Thank you.
I'll talk to you anytime, but this is cool.
Thank you. You have been in this space for a while. Let's start in the beginning. How did you find this? How did you entertain yourself to find this healing modality?
Well, it was last stop shopping, so to say. I had spent 3 years in a very, I mean, 3 years, 3 decades. That's 30 years. It's a long time
Yeah.
in a pit.
Mm.
Okay, with suffering from major depressive disorder that was resistive to treatment, complex PTSD, I'm older, I had a life full of trauma, all the things that our, doctors recommended just put me further and deeper in.
Mm-hmm.
And,
Mm-hmm.
I was down to I just can't do it anymore. I mean, my ferrets, little weasels, they kept me alive,
Yeah.
because I would have
Mm-hmm.
just gave up. And so I tried different things, ketamine. I started looking outside of the box because what they were giving me was not it. And that had varied results with me, the ketamine. And I was still on a lot of drugs, pharmaceuticals, because after a while, when they can't cure you, they drug you, so they
So
gave
let
me,
me ask you, I don't mean to interrupt, but
yeah.
let me ask you, so ketamine's kind of new to our society now. So how
Mhm.
long ago did you get involved with ketamine? Was that a while back?
No, not that long ago. That's what kind of opened the gateway of
Mm-hmm.
searching deeper, because
Mm-hmm.
yes, it had some healing components, but this was complex, and yeah. So I kept looking,
You,
and I
you kept
didn't
looking.
resonate with it personally because I have a
Hmm.
history of being in a medically induced coma for like 2 months,
Right.
and drugged, intubated, feeding tubes, the whole 9 yard, from Legionnaire's disease.
Hmm.
Okay, they didn't think I was going to make that, and when I did the ketamine, it's like it had that anesthetic feel, that like comatose kind of disassociation,
Hmm.
which did not resonate as a good space for healing for me.
Understood. Understood.
So
And then
anyway,
where did
I
that bring?
found out
Then
ayahuasca, and then it's an hour from my house, and
yeah.
I go and I take it. First weekend, phenomenal. The medicine told me right away that she loved me and I was her friend, and so I've always stuck with that. And we've become intimate in our relationship, and we have used, yeah. So it really resonated. It helped my depression, helped my complex PTSD, fixed a rotator cuff, and I had so much help the first weekend that a month later I went back, and then I never left for like almost 4 years every weekend, unless I was traveling to Ecuador, Peru, or getting Cambo certified, things like that.
Hmm.
Mhm.
And that was down in that was an hour away in Orlando, Florida.
An
You
hour and
know,
11 minutes away.
hour
Just say,
and then all these people, when I used to go when I went there to Soul Quest, all these people would definitely resonate towards you. You just had this beautiful presence about you. And then you ended up at this church, and your presence was always there, and people came to basically, be healed. And you said it to me a couple weeks ago, and that number really stood out to me. You have almost sat with 30,000 people. I mean, that is a lot of people.
But look at how many people have come through there, over a
Yeah,
100,000.
yeah, it's amazing. It's
Yeah,
amazing. And so when you first jumped on this journey in this medicine, what was the biggest benefit that what was the benefit you see for yourself?
that it opened up, it started to open up my heart, and I wasn't so much caged in that very lonely place. um, there was a constant inflow of people that were coming to, for whatever the reasons were, and I
Mhm.
was able to connect to them on a real level, more like my soul core level,
Yeah,
versus what I had been taught. What I, it's kind of like my truest truth. So it was easy for me to love you, to love Michelle, and the 30,000 people. I mean, I
right.
really can honestly say I loved each one of them, and I tried to connect with as many as I could, because there's a soul recognition and
Yeah,
interaction when you're intimate.
that's definitely the case. I felt that too when I was there. There was just this bond. And I think it's because from me so much was I've lost so much of my part of myself. I mean, when I went to this medicine, I was really in a dark space. And I guess when I went and I did this medicine for the first time, it kind of opened up, there was people that understood this me and the same thing that everybody else is going through. We're all going through the same traumas and the same hurt. And that's what really attracted me to this whole healing, this whole gamut of healing. And I don't even know if it's healing because, to this day, I don't know if I'm healed. I just know how to do things a little bit better than how I did them before these journeys. In the beginning, I was fucked up. And,
And that's
coming
okay.
to this, coming to this path really has changed so much. So let's talk about something. When you see what happens to you? How do you accept that when you see this glimmer in people's eyes that you know that next day, that hope that they finally have? Isn't that just amazing?
Yes, because that's the beautiful part of these medicines, that they can help us reach, views of ourself, views of what's inside, not just what's coming at you from the outside. And it's like almost like a birth, there's like that hope. There's like, wow, I just never knew that.
Hmm.
And it's such a, because I would watch them come in on Friday. Everybody's kind of antsy, uncomfortable. What's it going to be like? Because we had many first time ayahuasca drinkers,
Yeah,
and so that produced such an energy. But as you went through the different ceremonies and the integration and the breath work, and had meals with these people, it just, yeah, it just opens people up to something that they have not considered. But it's
yeah,
also just the first step.
it
It's just,
is.
are you putting your toes in the water, or are you all
Mhm.
in? And
Yeah,
all in can be very brutal, because it's going to
mhm.
show you not just the butterflies, rainbows, and all that.
Yeah,
Okay, it's going to show
yeah,
you, oh, that's fucked up.
yeah. It does. I mean, doesn't it not show you that? I
And
mean,
if
you
you
are
don't
so.
read the universe when they tell you, they're going to load you up with a lot of experiences, and to let you say, yeah, that's what we're talking
Uh,
about.
yes, yes, and it does. I mean, and you just said something. You either tip your toes in or you go all in. There's no in between here with this medicine. It's
Not when
just,
you take that cup to your mouth. And that's why it's so important, because I kind of like have an overview of a lot of different things, but and how people come into the medicine.
mhm,
Um, and everybody comes for different reasons, but there are ways to expedite your healing if you come in right,
Yeah.
asking the right questions,
Hmm.
having done a little bit of inner work, you know.
Hmm.
It, but it's all perfect looking
It
space.
is. And you talk a lot about ancestrals, and things of this nature. And I think we've lost touch with that in today's society. And it's so important because, we're all DNA, we're all part of who we used to be, aren't we?
We are all the same. We are
We're all the same.
literally ancestral, I believe, because it is in our DNA. Okay. I mean, these are just bodies we have.
Mhm.
Uh, these are experiences we're having with our eternal being that never dies. So if you look at it from that respect perspective, we really are everything. It is all within us. And so that's what they say when you're healing your ancestors, you are because of different times that this soul energy frequency, your truest being, is had to experience.
Can we talk about that a little bit more about ancestors?
Sure.
So, yeah. Did you believe in a lot of ancestrally when you come to this medicine, or did it really come out? Because we
No,
talk
not
about medicine.
really,
Hmm.
because when I came into the medicine, all my people were dead, you know.
True.
My
Hmm.
family, they didn't have, there was I have one biological son, a lot of children, but one biological son.
Right.
And yeah, but we all carry these traits that have been carried by our ancestors. And we're given this opportunity where we can connect with who we really are through all times, all existences. This is the time where we can do that merge, so they count on us.
Yeah, they do. And the more of these medicines, because there are more, we talk, when I say medicines, I talk plant medicines in general, everything from psilocybin to iboga to ayahuasca to the toad to cambo. And cambo, let's talk about cambo. You
I
love
just
cambo, don't
did
you?
mine yesterday. I did a microdose. I thought,
Yeah,
yeah,
you are you're a cambo facilitator, correct?
I'm IAKP certified. That's the
Hmm.
International Association of Cambo Practitioners. Hmm.
And that medicine's pretty amazing, isn't it? No psychedelic properties, but a pretty amazing medicine.
See, and what I've found, like I have a church that I work with multiple plant and animal spirit medicines, and that
Mhm.
is one of them. And they come to us with their spirit. The Cambo is the spirit of that Cambo frog. And yeah, and it has a purpose. It can break through. Well, we carry a lot of icky stuff in us, in our cells, all this, and it has a way. It just facilitates the removal of those things, and at the same time, be pumping your cells with like proteins and peptides.
Mm.
Yeah. So.
It really helps. It's really beneficial, and it's actually legal in all 50 states, correct?
Yes, it is.
Hmm. Why isn't it used more, you think, Dawn? Why isn't it?
Well, you're
Why?
getting frog medicine burned onto you and put on your skin. And then you're going to puke a lot. That's not. I was like, do I really want to do that? Especially when you can't see the benefits.
Yeah.
Sometimes we have to. That's what I'm saying. Whether we're all in, sometimes we
Hmm.
have to step outside of.
Hmm.
Um, what we perceive it's going to look like, feel like, what the outcome's going to be like. We're caught up in all that. That's the human experience.
Hmm. That's absolutely right. We're burning frog medicine onto us. That's probably what turns a lot of people away. I look, but see, all these medicines, there's a little bit of pain in all of them. So you have to go through that for
Oh,
that joy, right? That joy at the end of it. I guess some people don't like that fear. I guess we're a little different, aren't we?
Yeah, and then yeah, like in the Amazon, it's pretty normal. I mean, this is what they use. That's the vaccine of the forest. So
Hmm.
cultural, just everything blends into all our when we're trying to figure out our own personal path. But there are many roads to, and I mean, it's endless the modalities that people can use. It doesn't have to be plant. I mean, just sound, nature, animals, whatever it is that's going to bring that to you, because it's the what we're looking for, instead of labeling it so much, is the feeling of that. Okay, and how we get to it.
Right. Yeah.
Let's just do the best for each person. So that's where the collaboration comes in,
Mm,
because like I don't have all the answers.
right.
Ayahuasca, so let's really, what are we doing here? Let's move forward, develop some unity, use our skills,
Mm.
Mhm.
So, well, you just mentioned something about frequency, tones, and music. It unlocks a lot of coding. It unlocks a lot of things, does it not?
Oh yeah. I mean, just like if I were like at my bowl, this bowl.
Yeah. All that vibration, all that frequency going through your body. Wow.
Well, and not just because we have all that going through our body all the time, and it gets
Hmm,
scattered. And so we could use different tools to balance it out,
hmm,
find a resonance.
hmm. That's interesting. We have these things running through our bodies all the time, and that just probably just brings it to the surface, and you notice it more, don't you?
Well, that's our experience,
Wow.
through what we're feeling, what we're thinking, what we're surrounded by all the time.
Hmm. Yeah. Yeah, because that really did happen on a lot of my experiences. Like different towns and different sounds would really activate different things on different medicines. Like the drummings and the deep tones would kind of activate the lower
I mean,
part of
and you
you, the
can't
roots.
make that up, and the healing
No,
of it is so real.
so
That's
real.
why when they say things are being revealed, people will resonate with what's true.
Yeah.
It's like no more bullshit.
Yeah, that is no bullshit. That is so
We're done.
that yeah, that's amazing though. You know, it just brought it back a good memory for me. How that tones and those sounds would just make you purge. They would make you actually purge. And you mentioned something that's really important. We talk about these medicines a lot, but for me, these medicines were catalysts. These medicines were catalysts to get me to this next level, to get me to enjoying that music more, or to meditating more, or to get to my mind more. I mean, these aren't things we sit and we do every day. We talk about the medicine as a catalyst. There's the things we utilize, like your sound bowls, meditation, breath work. These are things that we have to incorporate in our everyday lives that we forget about. Don't you believe so?
I do, and what's great, it's all available. It's
Hmm.
all available.
It
You
is too.
know,
It
we
is.
just need to, but we get so busy,
We
you
do.
know, that we
But
really don't have time to uh, have with to explore these things,
mhm.
because we're just got all that going on.
And what do we get busy with?
Distractions.
Hmm.
It
Yeah.
doesn't matter. It could come in any kind of ways, but there's still distractions, and why they're there. That's where the work is, figuring
Yeah.
out why they're there for each person personally. You know. Yeah.
So what do you think about all these medicines? What do you think? How do you think? Do you think it's the Do you think it's the basis for our mental health healing? Not just ayahuasca in general, but I
Oh,
mean,
psilocybin's wonderful. I do a lot of work with
psilocybin.
psilocybin.
Me and Michelle were talking about that the other day. Do you think Mother Aya has kind of infiltrated into the psilocybin realm? Like, say, hey guys, here's a way to go. Here's a way to go. Because, psilocybin has become our go to medicine lately. It's just
You know what I
beautiful.
found in my practice?
What's that?
Okay, is that one, they're companions. I mean, they really work synergistically together. I mean, they're
Hmm.
great partners.
Hmm.
Matter of fact, I had early on, I had some really big ayahuasca journeys where I was given a lot of information that was hard for me to process. And
Hmm.
so would come home and I would do a psilocybin journey. And what I found is that through that psilocybin journey, they it would break down the same aspects but show it in a way that I could understand it more. So kind of like an integration tool. And so the Aya is going to open everybody up with their emotions, which Aya is very much that. Okay. Now the psilocybin, when after I do my privates, Ayas, I send them home with psilocybin because I want them to microdose because that works with your neurotransmitters, your yeah, and it kind of just lines things up. So now that you got everything like that, let's go ahead and get it running smooth. And then there would be enough for them if they wanted to experiment a little deeper or needed some kind of integration.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely so true. So when you talk about let's for the audience out there when they hear this, like what do you think the biggest differences between those two medicines are, ayahuasca and psilocybin? I'll tell you my opinion. What is yours?
Well, one is about the body and the emotions. Not that they can do the same work, but it's kind of like more of a specialized thing. With the
Hmm.
ayahuasca, is the emotional, the remembering, and with the psilocybin, I see it more as, you know, yes, it's an experience, it's good, but it's working in the background. Putting it's more cerebral, I guess you would say. It works there.
Works great together though, because and this is just my belief. I don't think you can really understand psilocybin fully when you're microdosing until you have a full journey. And this is just my belief. Not a lot of people believe this way,
I
but
mean, I
I
get it. I
believe.
mean, I've served Aya with a gram of psilocybin at the
Mhm,
same time, and people had
mhm.
life changing experiences.
Yeah. Hmm. Beautiful, beautiful. So I like that. And then we talk about another medicine that I think you're pretty familiar with, is hape. A lot of people get a little addicted to hape in the beginning of these paths, though. And, but talk about hape, what it does, why a lot of people gravitate to that in the beginning, and what we do to keep that as more of a spirituality kind of thing.
Well, yes, I'm familiar with rapé. I say rapé, but I used to be a rapé snob, and when I was working, I mean, like a lot,
Yeah.
5 times a day, you know, and so. But what happened in our society? It goes back to that master plant, the sacred tobacco, which is a very strong, strong spirit. Okay, and with anything, you have to use it wisely. I don't so much do the rep. I do the this is Ambil. I don't know if you could see it,
Yeah,
but
Ambil. Now
okay.
talk a little bit about Ambil. That goes into your tongue, right?
Oh yeah, this is my medicine. I carry this with me because it's so
Hmm.
good for me in grounding and stuff, and just yeah. And tobacco again is a strong spirit, and I have a 40-year history of smoking. I have
Hmm.
COPD. I've been on a ventilator. But this. Am I addicted to it? Man, I don't know, but I love the vibration and
Yeah,
it's so much better for me than smoking.
yeah.
But even cigarettes, all these people that smoke cigarettes, they're smoking because they have that craving. Tobacco is
Hmm.
good medicine. They just fuck with it, you know,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
everything else.
You're
They
so
took
true
the
about that.
sacredness out of it.
Hmm.
And, but yeah, it's very good, very opening, very grounding.
It
whatever.
does really, it does really help in the, it does really help in the beginning processes for myself, at least on the journey. It really gave me that grounding, and it really brought me back to that space of the medicine in the beginning, you know?
I agree. I agree. Yeah,
Hmm.
I'm all in with that.
I am too. I love it. I am all in
Matter
with
of
it too.
fact, here, look,
So let me ask you,
here. Hey,
did you
you
put,
want? Hey, Mark, serve
yeah,
me some rapé.
yeah. It's a, now that's a big one. That's a
This is
servo.
from Peru, and
Peru,
these
yeah.
are prayers, and these are
That's
yeah,
beautiful.
all goes yeah, sacred medicine, sacred ceremony. If it's not that, don't do it, folks. Don't do it.
Oh,
Know
I
your
got you.
medicine. Know where you're going to have it, regardless, and because you're responsible for you.
Yep. You know what? That's a very true statement too. A lot of people talk about that too. But we can talk about this statement about vetting in this space, vetting in this space. But we're responsible for us. You
Yeah.
know,
I mean, if
we
you're
are
going
in
to
the
do
end of the
something
day.
stupid and go do, you know what I
Hmm.
mean?
Hmm.
You're going to learn
Yeah.
it. You can still get benefit from it. I'm not judging,
Hmm.
because there's,
Hmm.
but boy, let's just cut a lot of that out.
Cut a lot of it out. Right.
Yeah,
But I
boy.
think, with this education and with things like this and us talking about this, I think people can become more aware of what not to do and what's right and what's wrong. Because I do truly believe by 2025, psilocybin will be the mental health medicine of the future. It
Oh, it's
will
got to
really,
be. It's got to
yeah,
be. But
definitely,
yeah,
for
and I think
sure.
right now we're putting the framework in through
Hmm.
everybody's experimentation,
Hmm.
so that we really do know what we're doing.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
it's just
I,
getting more people on the same page, but we're
yeah,
good. It's
right.
moving.
Yeah, it's moving, and what I see is like the amazing results. These medicines have results. Psilocybins, ayahuascas, cambo, bufo, aboga. They all have results at the end of the day.
Hmm.
Do our
Oh yeah.
pharmaceutical drugs have results? No, they do not. I mean, they're just keeping us comatose.
Well,
They're
they're
not.
doing damage. They're
Hmm.
they're like it took me so long to get off the withdrawals from the benzodiazepine. They had me on 2 milligrams 2 times a day. Okay,
So
that's
you were taking a bar a day. You were
oh, I
taking
was
about
taking. I
two.
could have two, along with listen, along with my 30 milligram oxycodones, my 10 325 Percocets, put my antidepressants, and then 80 milligrams of Adderall a day, 40, 40, and 20, rapid acting.
Now, let me let's.
That's messing with your everything, but it takes a while for people to get off of those, because they do things to you. Don't get me
Yeah.
wrong,
Oh, absolutely.
they do things to you, but yeah, and it takes your body's natural healing away from you. Your healing power is being removed by each pill you take, because you're not giving your body a chance to do what it does. And what is it telling you? What do you need to change?
Mhm. So
Which, if you
true.
change, leads to your happiness and well-being.
Yeah. I mean,
Instructions.
but but you're living proof. You can. I mean, you've been through all this. Isn't this such a better way?
Hmm. It's a more
Such a,
humane way,
more
which
human.
we knew the way all along. We
Wow.
knew the
Yeah.
way all along. It's just we
Yeah.
were kind of like hijacked when we took our first breath. This was a set stage for us not to figure it out. You
Mhm.
know,
That
but
was really powerful. What you just said. You said this is the humane way. That
yeah,
is really, really powerful. Because
well,
the other
it's
way
all
is,
love. That's all we
yeah,
are. It's
yeah.
just everything
Mm,
been thrown on us, and we've had to put all these masks up, and we had to
yeah.
pretend that, or we
Yeah.
didn't know how to act, or we didn't know how to act, but they've been learning experiences for us. So
Mm,
those of us who have gone through the experiences have a certain obligation and responsibility. That's where I
mhm.
place myself. because I care about everyone and everyone's healing. I'm not discriminatory.
Well, I can vouch for that. You're a beautiful person and you do care about so many people. So what are you doing now? So where does this path take you? I know you're not at Soul Quest no more. I know a lot of people aren't there anymore. That beautiful portal that brought us all together. What are you doing now?
Well, I am just letting spirit guide my path more and seeing because I work with energy. And so that is my life is my work.
Hmm.
But it's taken me to, I do private sessions when I'm here. I do group settings like for plant medicine. I went to Sedona, Joshua Tree, Laguna Beach, or Indiana. So, depending on where that need is, I work
Yeah.
with that, and I try and schedule everything in. I do plant medicine consults, and I do like it's per individual. It's kind of like the medicine, everybody's different. So my spirit team gives me the information to that whatever that person needs, and I never know what it's. So I do channeling, I guess you would say.
Yeah. Everybody is different, Dawn, aren't they? Everybody is different.
And I think I'm going to Glastonbury in August. Uh,
Where is that?
Glastonbury, England.
That's going to be awesome. What are you going to do there?
Well, a friend that I met through, her name's Joan of Angels, and she invited me to go to this, it's a Portals of Ascension, but it's in Glastonbury. And I thought,
Hmm.
oh, okay, I'll check it out. And I wanted to go to Italy too, to Damanhur. And so anyway, that I'm going to be doing that. But I found out that all these other people that I'm energetically connected to, and I can't even, names are really hard for me, but they're going to be there.
That's awesome, right?
So I don't know. And who
I
asked
don't
me?
know.
Alba Wyman asked me, well, what are you going to do? It's like, I don't know, but I'm going to do it, whatever it is. I'm going.
I'm going.
So
I
a
don't
lot of
know.
my life is like that. I was in South Beach this past weekend. How did I wind up there? This energy person, man. When by the time I was leaving, checking out the hotel, I went with Verena, and
Mhm.
anyway, I'm like ready to purge. Whoops, I'm sorry. I got amble in my mouth. I never know how I'm going to land.
Yeah. That's
And
your
so I have
spirit.
to go with a lot of things in life,
Yeah.
but
That's
I,
the spirit.
I just honor it, learn
Yeah.
from it, you know.
You've touched a lot of people. You've touched us. You've touched so many. A lot of people know in this plant medicine community who you are. And, I think it's pretty amazing that we continue to do what we continue to keep doing because we know it works. We know
Yeah,
this works.
yeah, yeah.
Hmm.
And we want to feel better ourselves.
We
We
do.
want to have that everything we've ever wanted that we can't even dream of because it's just too good. It's all here for us. We just
It,
need to get there.
it is all here for us. Well, we
Hmm.
love you very much. You're an amazing woman. Thank you for this conversation,
All right, love.
and we will be talking again soon.
Uh-huh. And so it
Uh-huh.
is. Mm-hmm.
Ciao, ciao.
Ciao.
Stay on, my friend. Stay on.